Utah football has had a brand that's very recognizable. It's a physical brand, and it's very family oriented. I don't know that I want to necessarily change that recipe for success. It's maybe just the way the meal's prepared a little bit different, the way we lift and condition. If you ask anyone in our building, what's your culture, they will tell you RSNB, relentless, smart, nasty ball hawks, and that's just a way of playing and a way of living that I hope defines what we do on the football field.
All right, University of Utah fall camp is wrapping up. They're now preparing for a season opener against Idaho coming up next Thursday. You just heard from basically the biggest change of Utah football this season. Head coach Morgan Scalley replacing longtime head coach Kyle Whittingham. Joining us now is the radio voice of Utah football, Bill Riley, to go over what the expectations are for this season. Bill, thank you so much for coming in.
Lakin, good to see you. It's good that we finally meet.
Yes, we finally met.
We've worked in the media space here for a number of years. You told me that you graduated high school the year, the college the year, or maybe it was high school the year I started here. So you made me feel very old. But outside of that, thanks for having me.
Yes, my graduation from the U was 2001.
Okay, the U.
When you moved here.
Yes.
Basically. All right, so are you excited for the season?
I am. Well, I'm excited for every season because football's great. Mm-hmm. And I always joke, football's the season we wait the longest for.
Right.
And then it goes by like that before you know it. But this year is extra fun, one, because I think Utah's going to be really good, but two, change of the guard, Morgan Scalley, who I covered. He was in school when you were in school up there, and now he's running the show. So I'm excited to see what Morgan and his staff can do.
I mean, Coach Witt's time, it was legendary, essentially. Yeah. He was there for a long time. People are still talking about him. Are you ready to move on?
Yes.
Basically? You are.
I am. I mean, Kyle's moved on.
Yeah,
he's now the head
true.
coach at Michigan. Mm-hmm. He had such a great run. 21 years, 30 at the school, 21 years as head coach. He's the winningest head coach. His legacy is cemented. But, yeah, it's time to move on, and it's a new era. And that's why I'm excited, because I've known Morgan for so long and known what he has been as a player and seen what he's been as an assistant coach. Now I'm just excited to see what he can do now that he's running the show.
Okay, so Scalley was a player under Whittingham, spent his coaching career there as well. How do you think he's going to do with this upcoming season?
I think he's going to do great. If the early returns of spring football and fall camp are any indication, he is very organized. He's been planning for this. He was the coach in waiting for a couple of years leading up to this. So he knew this was going to be his job whenever Kyle decided to move on. So he's been planning for this. If you know Morgan Scalley, he's a very organized, very meticulous, very detailed guy. So when they called his name last year, he was ready to go. So he has implemented his style, which is a very energetic, upbeat, kind of embracing analytics, kind of a new wave. He's got an old school football mentality, but embracing kind of a new way of football. So it's been a new kind of an energy up there this fall.
Okay, so that's really good information, because those into the weeds here, they are paying attention in the preseason. Yeah. Those who aren't, they're basically going to have their verdict when the games start to be played. You're saying the early signs look good.
Look very good. The talent is very good. You can have the best laid plans in the world, but if you don't have talented players, you're just going to be okay. They've got very talented players, the quarterback returns. But what I have seen from him and his staff and the people that he's assembled around him, and again, head coaches are great, but you've got to have a good surrounding staff as well. You can do the best show in the morning here, but if the crew out there isn't doing a good job, it's not really going to matter. He's got a good staff. And so what I have seen, and I'm around the program a lot, and I do the coaches show with him, which debuts next Tuesday. I'm excited to see what happens when they roll it out on Thursday against Idaho.
Well, let's talk about some of that staff. A new offensive coordinator with Kevin McGivern.
Yep, Kevin McGivern was at Utah State with Bronco Mendenhall last year. He's one of those guys that's a football lifer. He's a Utah guy, too. Grew up in Utah County, went to, I want to say, College of Eastern, maybe it was Eastern Arizona, bounced around. He's coached in a lot of places. His style is very similar to what Jason Beck, who was here a year ago, who went with Whittingham to Michigan, was. Very diversified, likes to throw it, likes to run it. So McGivern's the offensive coordinator. Okay,
you did say you got to have good talent on the field as well. Who are some of the key players that we're going to be paying attention to?
Well, Devin Dampier, starting quarterback, is back this year. Devin had a fantastic year. He was the newcomer of the year in the Big 12 last year. Led Utah to obviously 11 wins. He's back at quarterback. When you're set at quarterback, it's a good thing. Ironically enough, his backup quarterback, in this day and age where kids transfer left and right if they don't get to play, he decided to come back as well. His name is Bird Ficklin. Wayshawn Parker, their starting running back, is back on this team as well. They've probably got the deepest wide receiver room they've ever had, deep and talented at Utah this year. And on the defensive side of the ball, guys like Trey Reynolds and Jackson Benny are playmakers, linebacker, and safety.
Any other names out there that had made an impression during fall camp?
Trying to think. There's a newcomer by the name of Ethan Day, who's a transfer from North Texas. Very good player. Lance Holtzclaw. Mark that name down. Lance Holtzclaw. He was a guy kind of waiting in the wings. Last year they had a tremendous player named John Henry Daly, was defensive end, had 11.5 sacks. He's moved on. Holtzclaw backed him up, just waiting for his opportunity to be a starter. He's going to get that this year, and I think Lance could have a big year.
Okay, let's talk about the schedule.
Okay.
The season opener is Idaho.
Yes.
What other games are you really looking forward to that we should be paying attention to?
The second game is against an SEC team. Most teams from the SEC don't travel outside the SEC footprint very often, so Arkansas will be here in week 2. The early part of the schedule is very favorable to Utah. A lot of teams that are kind of rebuilding. Games to keep an eye on. October 24th, they host Houston. Houston's a nationally ranked preseason team. That's at Rice-Eccles Stadium. Of course, November 7th, the game we always circle, the rivalry game against BYU, also at Rice-Eccles Stadium. And then 2 games in November that are on the road. Back-to-back tough games, Arizona and TCU. That's really where I think Utah's season will be kind of told.
Okay. 11 games won last year, right?
Yes, 11-2.
Predictions for this season? Do you ever make predictions?
I don't make exact predictions, but I give ranges, kind of floors and ceilings. I think this is a really talented team, and with the schedule the way it is, I think Utah's range is somewhere between 9-3 on the low side and 11-1 on the high side.
Okay.
So I think it's going to be another very good year. I think they'll be very much in contention to play for a Big 12 championship, and I think they've got a great shot to possibly be a playoff team this year.
Give me a sense of how long you've been covering Utah football and what this season is looking like, looking back at all of those years with the contest.
Well, I've been around the program for a lot of years. The Sugar Bowl year, the Pac-12 championship years, the Rose Bowl years. I think in the Big 12, with this new energy that Morgan Scalley is bringing, I think that this team has a very good chance to compete for and possibly win a conference championship, something they did twice in the Pac-12, something they were close to doing a year ago in the Big 12, but they stumbled in their 2 biggest games. I think if they can avoid those stumbles in those big games, they've got a chance to be a Big 12 champion this year.
Utah fans, they're obviously going to be looking at how Michigan is doing with Coach Whittingham. How much should they pay attention?
Well, I think it's okay to keep an eye on it. I mean, Kyle Whittingham gave you 30 years of his coaching life and 21 years as a head coach. He was the face of Utah football, and there's some good coaches that were with him that are now with him at Michigan. So I tell people all the time, it's okay to still root for Kyle Whittingham. He decided to move on and go to Michigan and try. It's not like he went to BYU or he went to Colorado or he went to Arizona. Went to a different conference. Change happens. Life happens. Change happens. It's okay to keep an eye on that. I think it'd be great to see him in a postseason game, maybe a bowl game, maybe a playoff game.
Okay.
A little Utah versus Michigan, a little Scalley versus Whittingham. How great would that be?
That would be good. Excellent. Okay, so we have basically about a minute left.
Okay.
I do this with every BYU representative. I ask them about Utah. Let me ask you, how's BYU looking this year?
BYU's going to be good. That's a good team down there. I really do believe, Lincoln, that game on November the 7th between Utah and BYU will be a pseudo play-in game to go to the Big 12 championship.
Really?
I think the winner of that game, and I think Utah's probably got a little advantage being at home, but I think it's going to be a very good matchup. They have kind of the inside track to probably face Texas Tech in the Big 12 championship game. Kalani Sitake, who's a friend of mine as well, he coached at Utah for a number of years. He's got a really good team.
Excellent. Well, Bill, you're excited, right?
I am.
All right. It's going to be a good season. I'm excited too. And like you said, time to move on. Let's turn the page.
It's the Scalley era now.
It's the Scalley era now. All right. Bill, thank you so much for coming in.
Good to see you.
Absolutely.